she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death of it. So he told her everything. No razor has ever been used on my head, he said, because I have been a Nazarite, dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my hair were shaved, my strength would leave me and I would become as weak as any other man. So here, Samson, because he wanted to have a relationship with this lady called Delilah, Samson had to compromise. He told Delilah the secret of his strength, and immediately she knew that Samson was telling her the truth. You can see this is a very demonic altar. They were able to know that it was complete truth. Are we together? Then Delilah saw that he had told her everything, and she sent word to the rulers of the Philistines, "Come back at once. Once more, he has told me everything." So the rulers of the Philistines returned with the silver in their hands. You see that every leader was supposed to give her 1,100 shekels of silver. Are we together? 1,100 shekels of silver, and it was for her. It was business. For her, it was business, and for Samson was good business. But for Samson, his unfortunate. He was the unfortunate man who transacted with Delilah. I want you to take that. No, he was the unfortunate man, who transacted with the. He was the unfortunate man. Okay, yeah, he was the unfortunate man who transacted with Delilah. So they waited, of course, after putting him to sleep, because he is the same strategy. The Philistines waited for this man to go to sleep. That is why I'm telling you, you can only win if you cannot defeat them at night. Don't ever think of defeating them during the day. The Philistines waited for Samson to go to sleep. That's when they started their magic. Are we together? The Philistines waited for Samson to go to sleep. What does the Bible say? He called for someone to shave. To shave his what? He called for someone to shave his seven braids of his hair, and so he began to subdue him. So someone else came while Samson was sleeping. So it means that he lost his power unbeknownst. Unbeknownst to him, someone was shaving his braids. Someone was there was a spiritual demonic transaction that was going on, and Samson was not aware of it. So what does this story tell us? That as Christians, we need to be alert spiritually. We need to be aware of the demonic transactions that are happening in our environment. We need to be aware of any lurking dangers. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're walking in the savannah, you cannot see a lion because a lion is hiding in the grass. But when you look at it from, when you look at it from your plain sight, you will think that the grass is clear. You can go for a walk. But unbeknownst to you, there are lions hiding in the grass. So this is exactly the case that happened to Samson. Samson, with his bare eyes, he couldn't perceive, because the word here I've used perceive, he couldn't perceive what was happening. You see, that is very, very serious, because the case of Samson, he couldn't perceive. He couldn't perceive, to see beyond the usual. He couldn't perceive beyond the smile of Delilah. He couldn't perceive beyond of course, the romance of Delilah, which is very unfortunate. But so let's go read ahead and know what it costed him. Let's read. But you see, Delilah was in it, was interested in business, but I'm sure Samson was interested in the romance and the romance side of it. But we'll learn what happened to him. So they shaved him, and his strength left him. Then she called Samson, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. He awoke from his sleep. Listen here. He awoke from his sleep and thought, I'll go out as before and shake myself free. Oh my goodness. But unbeknownst to him, the Lord had left him. He thought it will be business as usual. He will just go, set himself free, and, walk around with his chest held high. But that was the last time that he was to see the love of his life again. So then the Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and took him down to Gaza. Oh my goodness. Binding him with bronze shackles, they set him to grind corn in the prison. Listen, a man of God reduced, you see that when the glory leaves you, when the Spirit of God leaves you, you are returned to who you were previously. You see, Samson was just a normal man, but his advantage came because he had the Spirit of God. So when the Spirit of God left him, he now became a man, like any other man. And so they gave him a job to grind corn in the prison. But let's continue to learn what happened next. But his hair on his head began to grow again. That is Judges chapter 16 verses 22. If you are new to this channel, you can subscribe, you can comment. I'll be more than happy. Juan Kueto, welcome to this channel. Let's continue from there and the death of Samson. Don't go anywhere.